Now go over to our Mariners segment, and it's a short Mariners segment. There's not too much to talk about with the offseason. Make your 54% jokes now. I honestly am kind of bored with those. On the 8th, it was announced that center fielder Julio Rodriguez was named as a finalist for the 2023 Hank Aaron Award. The Hank Aaron Award is awarded annually to the best overall offensive performer in each league. The award was introduced in 1999 to mark the 25th anniversary of Hank Aaron breaking Babe Ruth's all-time home run record. A panel of Hall of Famers will combine with a fan vote to determine the winners in the American League and the National League. Voting ended a few days ago, so we should get updates on that. It'll be interesting to see if Julio does win it. I mean, he makes a decent case. If his September was better than it was, you can't really expect him to have continued the August that he had just because of how historic that was. But if he had, at least an average September, Julio probably runs away with it decently. Also in the National League, Seattle native Corbin Carroll is up for the award with the Diamondbacks. Him and the Diamondbacks are now in the NLCS, so good for them. Julio had some good stats. If we look at things overall, he was 12th in the AL in batting average. We could have been better. 3rd in runs batted in, 2nd in hits behind Marcus Semien, 5 hits behind Marcus Semien. So he really, again, if he had a better September, he would have been the hit king in the AL. Tied for 4th in the AL in runs, 6th in the AL in doubles, 7th in the AL in homers. Tied for 5th in the AL in extra base hits. He was 3rd in the American League in stolen bases, and 9th in balls in batting average on balls in play. So, Julio, he had a solid year despite a really rough start to the year and a bad month to end it. But there's some learning things. He's got to cut down on the strikeouts. He's really got to cut down on the strikeouts. It's a big thing for him, but there were some obvious growth points. His power to opposite field is so encouraging to see. I'm just, glad that he'll be on this team. He'll be in a Mariners uniform for at least the next decade. The other piece of news for the Mariners on the 13th of October, the team claimed right-handed pitcher Caleb Ort off of waivers from the Boston Red Sox. As a corresponding move to this, the Mariners designated catcher Brian O'Keefe for assignment, which is tough. O'Keefe made a stint with the Mariners last season, and at the end of the 2022 season, had a decent year in Tacoma. Ultimately, wasn't able to do too much up here with the big league club. Caleb Ort is an interesting pitcher. He's had 3 years in the league. ERA is not great. ERA is not the best thing to look at, though. His whip isn't either, but at least looking at his pitching, his fastball velocity is nice in the 80th percentile. He throws 4 pitches, a fastball, a slider, a cutter, and a changeup, heavily relying on that fastball, averaging at 96, the slider at 84, the cutter and changeup both at 91. He'll be interesting to see. You got to think moves like this. Moves like this are where you got guys like Gabe Spire from last season. And you just wonder if Caleb Ort's going to be a guy that's going to factor into the Mariners pitching factory of sorts. And Caleb Ort's a guy that we're going to be able to use in high leverage next year. We'll see. I mean, he's a guy getting claimed off of waivers. So it'll just be interesting to, see if this guy pans out, if we see him in spring training, and if he makes the opening day roster. Seattle's bullpen, has almost notoriously been able to find guys out of the bargain bin for relief arms and get the most out of them, whether that's Topa, Gabe Spire, Taylor Saucedo. So Paul Sewald, before he got traded, he was a guy that was off the bargain bin. So that will wrap that up.